Hello, hello. I have just returned from the library, dropped off 2 books, and picked up The Good House, excuse you, kitty, by Tananarive I'm going to be reading this next month, which is in a week in October. This is horror, and I don't really remember what it's about. I also requested The Good House, The Reformatory, I think, is the other Tananarive that I am going to try to get to in October. Yeah, this one is the home that belonged to Angela Toussaint's late grandmother is so beloved that townspeople in Sacagawea, Washington call it the Good House. But that all changes one summer when an unexpected tragedy takes place behind its closed doors, and the Toussaint family's history and future is dramatically transformed. Angela has not returned to the Good House since her son Corey died there 2 years ago. But now Angela is finally ready to return to her hometown and go beyond the grave to unearth the truth about Corey's death. Could it be related to a terrifying entity Angela's grandmother battled 7 decades ago? And what about the other senseless calamities that Sacagawea has seen in recent years? Has Angela's grandmother, an African-American woman reputed to have powers, put a curse on the entire community? A thrilling exploration of secrets, lies, and divine inspiration, The Good House will haunt readers long after its chilling conclusion. I have never read any Tananarive. I'm changing that. We will see. I'm not the biggest horror reader, but I do like it when I pick it up. Like, more often than not. Not always. There's some that I've picked up that I'm like, meh. I've DNF'd some, but I tend to enjoy it. I guess I tend to lean more toward, like, gothic, historical, with creepy, eepy, like, horror tendencies, but maybe not full-on horror. Like, it is horror, but I don't know. I guess I just have an idea in my head of what horror is, and maybe I'm just painting a wide brush. And I do actually like it overall, but we'll see. Just trying to figure out what I do like within the genre. The other Tananarive that I requested, I'm like number 1 of 1 right now, but it still hasn't said like shipped for me to like pick it up at that library. It's not like being held yet, so rather than wait for that, because I don't know when that's going to happen, I just picked this one up because this one has been being held for me since before we went on our vacation. So anyway, that's all. Well, hello. Gotten back to my car from the library. The book I picked up today is The Reformatory by Tananarive. When I talked about my Blackoween TBR, I totally forgot to read the synopsis for this one. The synopsis. Gracetown, Florida, June 1950. 12-year-old Robbie Stevens Jr. is sentenced to 6 months at the Gracetown School for Boys for kicking the son of the largest landowner in town in defense of his older sister, Gloria. So begins Robbie's journey further into the terrors of the Jim Crow South and the very real horror of the school they call the Reformatory. Robbie has a talent for seeing ghosts or haints, but what was once a comfort to him after the loss of his mother has become a window into the truth of what happens at the Reformatory. Boys forced to work to remediate their so-called crimes have gone missing, but the haints Robbie sees hint at worse things. Through his friends Redbone and Blue, Robbie is learning not just the rules, but how to survive. Meanwhile, Gloria is rallying every family member and connection in Florida to find a way to get Robbie out before it's too late. Dun, dun, dun. And it says that this is Tananarive wrote this by piecing together the life of the relative her family never spoke of and bringing his tragedy and those of so many others at the infamous Dozier School for Boys to light in this riveting novel. So it is based in somewhat fact as far as the school, and I'm sure many of the terrible things that were happening to the boys there. So yeah, yay, got this just in time. It is the very beginning of October, and I will be reading this in October for Blackoween. That is all. Thank you. Goodbye. Hello. I do not have my mic, but I turned the AC almost off. It's not super hot. It's 87 degrees. And it's very windy. I have my window cracked a little bit. But I just picked up One new book. This lighting is also hot garbage. Wait, hold on. That's a little better. But I picked up The Year of the Witching by Alexis Henderson. This was a last minute little request I put in because I am blowing through all the books for Blackoween. And this is one I haven't read. Fits prompts. And wanted to check it out. This one is, yeah, it's like historical, which I can kind of tell from the cover, I guess. In the lands of Bethel, where the prophet's word is law, Emmanuel Moore's very existence is blasphemy. Her mother's union... Oh, someone's getting in their car next to me. Whatever. Her mother's union with an outsider of a different race cast her once proud family into disgrace, so Emmanuel does her best to worship the Father, follow holy protocol, and lead a life of submission, devotion, and absolute conformity like all the other women in the settlement. But a mishap lures her into the forbidden darkwood surrounding Bethel, where the first prophet once chased and killed 4 powerful witches. Their spirits are still lurking there, and they bestow a gift on Emmanuel, the journal of her dead mother, who Emmanuel is shocked to learn once sought sanctuary in the wood. Fascinated by the secrets in the diary, Emmanuel finds herself struggling to understand how her mother could have consorted with the witches, but when she begins to learn grim truths about the church and its history, she realizes the true threat to Bethel is its own darkness, and she starts to understand that if Bethel is to change, it must begin with her. Dun dun dun. So yeah, it's historical, gothic, like fantasy, I guess. A young woman living in a rigid, puritanical society discovers dark powers within herself in this stunning feminist fantasy debut. I've read Alexis Henderson. I read House of Hunger, and like I liked it. I don't remember why it didn't wow me. I don't remember exactly why, but I feel like I remember enjoying the writing style. I don't know. We'll see if this one works for me. That is all for now. Hello, here I am once again in the library parking lot with 2 books to show you. I dropped off The Year of the Witching, and I picked up The Impossible Fortune by Richard Osman. This is the 5th book in the Thursday Murder Club mystery series, which I've quite enjoyed. I have not loved every single book. They're just fun, cute times. And what was it? I think the 3rd book has been my favorite so far. That's the only one that I have purchased a copy of because I could see myself rereading when I just want to, hang out in a cozy way with some friends. I'm excited for this. We shall see. Oh, fire truck. This one I just recently saw. Sorry for the shaky cam. Chanel talk about, and that is Red Queen by Juan Gomez Jurado. And this one is so random, but it sounds fun. And I saw her talking about it recently, and memory serves me that she enjoyed it. Yeah, it says, Antonia Scott, the daughter of a British diplomat and a Spanish mother, has a gifted forensic mind whose ability to reconstruct crimes and solve baffling murders is legendary. She is the Red Queen. But after a personal trauma, she's barely left her apartment and refuses to continue her work. John Gutierrez, a police officer in Bilbao, disgraced, suspended, and about to face criminal charges, is offered a chance to salvage his career by a secretive organization that works in the shadows to direct criminal investigations of a highly sensitive nature. All he has to do is succeed where many others have failed. First, convince a recalcitrant Antonia to come out of her self-imposed retirement, then protect her and help her investigate a new terrifying case. The case is macabre, ritualistic murder. A teenage boy from a wealthy family whose body was found without a drop of blood left in it. But this murder is just the beginning. A high-ranking executive, the daughter of one of the richest men in Spain, is kidnapped, a crime that is tied to the previous murder. Behind them both is a hidden mastermind with even more sinister plans. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, sounds fucking fun. And I just randomly was like, that sounds cool, so I put in a request, and here it is. Voila. That's it. That might be the end of this round of clips. I have some going back to September in my folder that I haven't made into a video yet, so this might be enough now. Hello. Editing Jashana here because I did forget to record little clips for a couple of digital books I read, or I picked up at least from the library back in September? or early October, late September, early October, I don't remember when, I did get an ebook copy from Libby of Pignon Scorbion and the Barbershop Detectives by, it's on the screen, but if memory serves me, Rick Blywis, something like that. That one I DNF'd, like, I can't remember, 10 to 20% in, I want to say. Something like that. It was like a detective, historical fiction, cozy mystery detective thing. And I just wasn't getting gripped by it, basically, is the story there. And then, okay, now I need to remember. Ebook from Libby of Children of Gods and Fighting Men by Shauna Lawless. Again, it'll be on screen. That is fantasy, and it's based in like Irish mythology, lore, etc. And I feel like that one I got like 30% or more into, and I just was not caring about anything. I DNF'd. I was like, meh, I don't care. I did pick that up, and then recently, audiobook that I had on hold for fucking ever, and then I actually really liked the audiobook. The narrator was fab, and that is for Angie Kills a King by Evan, Lakem? Again, it'll be on screen. I can't remember the exact last name. That one's fantasy, and in that one, it literally starts off, per the title, with our main character, Angie, killing the king and then running away. We don't know why Angie killed the king. We just know Angie has killed the king and fled, dipped out, and then is like on the run, but then gets captured by one of these like royal mercenaries, essentially, and called the Hawk. And then they're just like traipsing about. Like the Hawk is trying to take Angie back to get like the reward money for her and everything. And I want to say I got like 20 to 30% into that. I can't remember now. Also DNF that though. So yeah, library has saved me so much money this year. And yeah, again, I really like that audiobook though. The narrator was, what's her name? I'll put it on the screen. I don't know if it's a narrator I've heard before. I feel like it is though. Is it Miriam Quick? That might be wildly incorrect. I can't remember. But whoever it is, I really like the audiobook. And that can like make or break it for me, honestly. If I'm listening to an audiobook and I don't have like the physical or ebook and all I have is audio and I do not like the narrator, that'll make me DNF the audiobook. But in this case, I really liked the narrator. I just didn't care. I wasn't getting gripped. I wasn't getting invested. That is all now, though. I'm pretty sure those are the only ones that I forgot. If it is, thanks for watching. Let me know if you've read any of these books or are intrigued by any of the books I've talked about in this video. Have a good one. Bye-bye.